Hey Cowboys Nation! If you don't want to miss any first-hand news from America's team, subscribe to the channel now, as we are always attentive to the latest news from the Dallas Cowboys, and here you will always be in the know with. The Dallas Cowboys could be an ideal destination for a notable starter. As proposed by Bleacher Report's Alex Ballantini, the Cowboys should consider signing several veterans to bargain contracts now that the first wave of free agency is over. One of those proposed players is none other than former Seattle Seahawks defensive tackle Shelby Harris. Ballantini explains why the Cowboys should sign Harris to a one-year, $5 million deal. The Cowboys didn't have the discretionary funds to sign a player like Draymond Jones, but Harris could make sense on a cheap deal now, says Ballantini. He only had 2 sacks, but he also earned a solid 73.2 grade from PFF and registered 6 quarterback hits. By comparison, Oda Odighizuwa carried a 68.2 grade and Neville Gallimore earned a paltry 36.4. That's just one metric, but it exemplifies the difference Harris could make on a one-year deal. Why Cowboys should sign Shelby Harris? The 31-year-old Harris has carved out a productive career as a durable starter on the interior of the defensive line in recent years. Since 2019, Harris has started all 58 of his appearances as a member of the Seahawks and Denver Broncos. While Harris's contract paid him $9 million annually over the past 2 seasons, he likely won't come close to those earnings as a second-wave free agent signee. Considering Dallas is probably seeking cheaper signings in free agency, they have $19 million in available cap space. According to Spotrac, Harris makes sense for the Cowboys. Ballantini also attributes the lack of playmaking on the interior of the defensive line last season as a reason the Cowboys should pursue Harris. They would be wise to invest in depth on the defensive line, too, says Ballantini. The Cowboys didn't get much pass rush help from their interior defenders outside of Osa Odighizuwa, who notched 4 sacks. With a ton of talent on the outside, the Cowboys would be even more lethal to opposing offensive lines with some interior talent. According to Pro Football Focus, the Cowboys had a number of solid but unspectacular players on their defensive line last season. Osa Odighizuwa, who saw 706 snaps last season, posted a 68.2 defensive grade last season. Meanwhile, Chauncey Golston posted a 69.3 defensive grade. By comparison, Harris posted a 73.2 defensive grade, ranking 21st among all defensive tackles, with at least 100 snaps, last season. The Cowboys ranked 22nd in rushing yards allowed and 17th in yards per attempt last season. Upgrading the interior of the defensive line could go a long way towards ensuring Dallas is a legitimate Super Bowl contender heading into next season. Hey Cowboys fan, in your opinion, Shelby Harris would be a good signing for the Cowboys or not? What's your opinion? Put it in the comments because it's very important for the Dallas Cowboys. Stay tuned because at any time I update you on the latest Cowboys news.